Like all living things, humans really only need 3 basic things to survive. Those 3 things are food, water, and air. Turns out space has none of those things. However, humans are pretty smart. Occasionally. And they still have managed to figure out how to go up there, but it's a very dangerous process. So many things could go wrong, and there were several cases where things definitely did go wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, today we're going to talk about NASA's successful failure that was Apollo 13. Apollo 13 finally launched on April 11th, 1970. It was under the command of none other than the Jim Lovell. Jim Lovell was the guy you wanted for a mission like this. Lovell had been to space 4 times prior to Apollo 13, and he had the most spaceflight hours out of anyone on Earth during that time period. Apollo 13's success plays a large part in Lovell's calm leadership during the crisis. So what exactly went wrong on Apollo 13? Well, 55 hours into the mission, one of the oxygen tanks exploded, and all the oxygen started leaking out of the ship. The explosion was caused by a fire inside one of the oxygen tanks that was most likely caused by faulty wiring inside the ship's panels. Because of this emergency, our pilots called back to mission control, and that's whenever we heard Lovell say the famous lines.
Houston, we've had a problem.
What? Out of all the things that could go wrong in space, losing all of your oxygen is probably at the top of the list. The pilots had to evacuate the command module and then had to go inside the lunar module as a lifeboat. Unfortunately, the lunar module only had room for 2 pilots, but there were 3 of them. This meant that all 3 of them had to sit inside the lunar module all the way back for the trip home, which was about 4 to 5 days. The pilots then had to fly the lunar module around the backside of the moon. Note that they're flying completely in pitch black without any radio communication back to mission control because it's the dark side of the moon. By some miracle, they were able to steer the lunar module all the way around to slingshot it back, however, more problems arise. The lunar module was not designed to filtrate all of their carbon dioxide out of the ship. This meant that they're basically breathing in their own poison. With the help of mission control, they were able to do some repairs and built a custom filtration device so they could breathe air normally again. On April 17, 1970, Apollo 13 finally made it back to Earth, safe and sound, with all 3 pilots alive. Even though this mission happened over 50 years ago, Apollo 13 is still a very significant event. Apollo 13 never made it to the moon, however, NASA learned a lot from this mission. NASA made several safety changes and updates to their spacecraft for missions to come in the future. Very fittingly, the official Apollo 13 patch has a quote, "Ex Luna Scientia," which is Latin for, "From the moon, knowledge."